Good evening, beautiful people. Happy Our Day. That's one way to not describe what day of the week or time of day it is. It's our day. You know it's an evening episode for me if we're on a letter. So obviously the biggest R that people showed up with was R for recovery. It's not one of the ones that I put on the list though, because what fun would that be? We know that that's the biggest R, I think. I think we'd all agree on that. So I did the whole popular vote, one that stood out, that kind of stuff. So the very first one, I think, and this is a great attribute for most, for everybody to have. And I think that anybody who's trying to go through recovery has to have this in order to be successful. And it is resilient or resiliency. So able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. So recovering from a gambling addiction, you have to be pretty resilient. Get through the difficulties of relationships and finances, or maybe our jobs are impacted, how we show up in the world with our kids. It could be a lot of different factors that are impacted when we're addicted. And I will say that if you're resilient and you fight through slowly, I mean, it's not an overnight process, but if you're resilient in tackling all those things and doing the work on the other side of stopping gambling, like that's the very first thing, is stop gambling, stop betting, that you will have some R relief on the other side of it. The next word that I liked that showed up quite a bit was respect. And I think we talked about forgiving ourselves. So I think we need to talk about respecting ourselves, respecting the program, respecting other people. I didn't read you the definition. Whoops. This all says it in the form of admiration, a feeling of deep admiration or admiring someone as a verb. Avoiding harm or interfering with, agree to recognize and abide by. So yeah, that's more the one that I wanted to focus on, because their example is respect the laws. So respecting other people's opinions in recovery. That's something that I will tell you that makes me a little bananas, especially as I'm involved in different forms, whether it's a Facebook group or in person with people or the center group or 12-step. I'm not sure that collectively we all respect each other's opinions. I feel like I got attacked a little last week when trying to do something in one of the rooms, and I saw someone announce their year sometime this week, and people didn't respect that either. They downplayed it and was like, well, the casinos are shut. Now, like, it's on his page. He's celebrating his anniversary and trying to be candid about his addiction. And he's someone who advocates for raising awareness around gambling and for helping people. And someone went on his page and had the nerve to say, like, well, you only made it a year because the casinos are closed right now. Like, that's not our respectful. That's our rude. And that really bothers me. So I think that that's why respect made my list, aside from the fact that so many folks put that down as one of the recovery words. I would love to know the context of how they were thinking about it when they wrote it, because I've gotten some different definitions from different people of how they perceived a word. And it seems like a lot of the words that we've been discussing can be a noun, can be a verb, can be multiple reasons or definitions. So it's pretty interesting. The last word, which I think is probably one of my favorite recovery words ever, And it's something that I like to do, especially when the emotion is taken out of a situation. And that is reflection or reflect. So reflecting on how things are handled so that I can learn from them. Reflecting on my life and my life choices, again, to learn from them. That's really what it's about. And sometimes it's reflecting to be proud of ourselves. And we need to do that too. Back to the loving ourselves and acknowledging ourselves. If I was reflecting a friend's progress, I would acknowledge it. So I need to acknowledge it when it's me. I've reflected on what the last 6 months has looked like without alcohol recently. And it'll probably participate in my decision of, do I drink alcohol the next 6 months? Or I can reflect on not gambling the last 3 years. I have no idea how long it's been now. I'm sorry. 3 years and a couple months. I don't know. Maybe we're getting close to, if there's 36 in a year, we might be getting close to 39 or 40 months. I don't know. Ever since I don't speak to my same date friend, I don't call it out every month like I used to, so I lose track. But if I was to reflect on what my life looked like before I quit gambling compared to now, oh my gosh, what a world of difference. Even if I reflect back on my first round of recovery versus now. But and don't get me wrong, I advocate for going forward, moving the needle. But sometimes we have to learn from history. So that's where I think that reflection is important. And reflection doesn't work if we're not open and honest about it and willing to make the adjustments going forward. But I really like that word. And we should also like our reflection in the mirror, because we're supposed to love ourselves, beautiful people. We are. Wow. So those are my 3 R words. I hope you liked them. I'm sure there's so many more. And I will tell you, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm keeping a list of all the words that we've talked about so far. So this is going to get harder if we ever do this again, because we won't repeat the same words. Repeat the same words. So, well, I appreciate you being here. And, I have another R. I'm going to ask you again. If you would kindly leave an R review if you're enjoying the show. If you're not enjoying the show, that's fine. You could tell me that too. If you don't mind taking the time to share with me what you would like to hear. Maybe I'm not your peach, but if there's things I can integrate that you think there would be value, that would be amazing as well. So any reviews you guys can give me would be greatly appreciated. They are important to let other people know what's going on with the show, and hopefully invite people in that may need the show to help complement their life or their desire to quit gambling. So that's all. There's not really anything else to it other than that. So if you can spend 2 minutes leaving a review, I would really appreciate it. Okay, beautiful people, I will talk to you